This is News Channel 12 Live at 6, where commitment makes the difference.
Just moments ago at approximately 6:20 Eastern Time, an unmanned NASA rocket exploded on its departure into space. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brittany Delbarba.
And I'm Dakota Sherrick. This is a live look from NASA TV. The 5,000-pound Antares rocket was delivering cargo, including food and supplies, to the International Space Station. We'll have more on NewsChannel12Live.com as the story develops. As Election Day nears, the Senate race is heating up. Incumbent Senator Mitch McConnell made a stop in Bowling Green today on his trip across the state. News Channel 12 reporter Sarah Hager spoke exclusively with the GOP candidate earlier today.
Senator Mitch McConnell stopped by the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky today on a last-stop tour through the state of Kentucky before the election next week. He spoke on a number of different things, including the importance of potentially having the Senate Majority Leader be from the state of Kentucky.
This is an opportunity for Kentucky to have the Majority Leader of the Senate for the first time in 70 years. It's only happened one other time in the history of our state. The advantage to Kentucky for that, to have a Kentuckian setting the agenda in the Senate and looking out for Kentucky every day, is enormous. And so trading that kind of clout in for somebody brand new who'd be in the back of the room would be a tremendous step back for Kentucky.
Senator McConnell brought along friends Lee Greenwood and Congressman Brett Guthrie, who's from Bowling Green. From the National Corvette Museum, Sarah Hager, News Channel 12.
As Election Day nears, political issues become the talk of the town. Sometimes the best places to find what Bowling Green wants are right around the corner. On a Saturday morning at Classic Cuts and Shaves, seats are filled as people wait to get a trim. Typically, people stick to general topics.
Good. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know, I haven't had a cut in around 8 weeks.
But as the election nears, all the buzz is about politics. When I asked people to shave it down to a single issue they found important, it all cut down to a common theme.
I would say continuing the economic revitalization of downtown Bowling Green.
Well, to quote Tommy Boy in that movie, he said you're either growing or dying, so it's good that we're growing.
While most are excited about the economic growth, one barber hopes Bowling Green still maintains a small town feel.
And we just need to get back downtown and work on infrastructure because there's a lot coming in, a lot of hotels. Bowling Green's growing, and I think we need to make room for that change. Update in an old way.
While patrons and voters here say the election on November 4th is about the city's growth, Starks believes at the end of the day, it's all about the community.
It's a loving thing to do, to vote and to care about others, and that's what it's being involved in that process. I don't know, just not being apathetic about your city. Like, people here matter, and that politics is part of that.
Arden now joins us with a first look at our weather forecast.
We do still have some lingering showers across the area that are going to be making their way out of the area overnight, and behind them, some colder temperatures. However, we did not see those cooler temperatures today. Highs across the area were actually rather warm. Bowling Green hit a high of 73 degrees today. Nashville, a warm high of 76, and Owensboro at 68 degrees. Currently, we have cooled off quite a bit. Bowling Green at 57 degrees, Nashville still at 69, and Owensboro at a 60 degrees. Coming up, I'll have more on the cool down that we do have ahead of us, when you'll see your next chance for rain, as well as what you can expect for this Halloween weekend. Back to you all.
Thanks, Arden. Coming up on News Channel 12 Live at 6, we take a look into safety precautions for local high schools. A study by the FBI shows that the annual number of school shootings in the United States is on the rise. News Channel 12 reporter Elliot Pratt tells us what Warren County Public Schools are doing to ensure a safe learning environment in the community.
In a span of just 5 days in late September, Kentucky schools experienced sudden alarm with the shooting at Fern Creek High School in Louisville, and 5 days prior, on September 25th, Warren County schools were on lockout due to a manhunt by the Warren County Police. The public school district has a routine for emergency crises such as these, and according to Chief Communication Officer Morgan Watson, each situation is constantly reviewed.
Our safety committee meets very regularly. They meet almost monthly. We also have a safety director who goes and does walkthroughs through the school almost on a daily basis. And so we felt very strongly that we have good procedures in place, that people are on board.
14 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, and 4 high schools in Warren County all have individual crisis management plans to evaluate the safety of the given school. Brad Tolbert, principal at Warren Central High School, serves on the safety committee and says the committee has studied previous incidences across the country to continuously modify the plan if needed.
Once something happens, there are all sorts of variables that may take place, and sometimes you have to make judgments on the fly. And so you want to try to anticipate those kinds of things as much as you can.
The Warren County Public Schools website holds many resources with helpful tips varying across many emergency operation procedures and drills.
If we see things that need to be adjusted or tweaked, then we go through, we update and make sure that our plans are as up to date as possible.
The protocol is the same across all 22 Warren County Public Schools, with student resource officers intact and safety precautions that are reviewed constantly. Parents can always know that there is a safe and watchful eye upon their children. Reporting for News Channel 12, I'm Elliot Pratt.
Both Tolbert and Watson said they received no phone calls from concerned parents when the schools went on lockout. Another patient who was treated for Ebola was released today. Amber Vinson was one of 2 nurses who became infected while treating Thomas Duncan for the disease. Duncan died from Ebola at the Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital. Doctors released Vinson after her tests were negative for the disease. The other nurse, Nina Pham, was released Friday after tests showed she was no longer infected. Shortly after the news of Vinson's release, President Obama held a press conference about the spread of Ebola.
They're doing what it takes to make sure that medical personnel and healthcare workers from all countries have what they need to get the job done. And the good news is that it's starting to have an impact.
Things are heating up in Hawaii. This is some amazing video of lava flowing from a Hawaiian volcano. The lava is only a few hundred feet away from town and it cannot be stopped. Many residents have been evacuated. In some places, the lava is chest high and is close to cutting off major roads. Hawaii's governor has signed a request asking for presidential disaster declaration and federal aid. And speaking of volcanoes in Hawaii, after the break, Arden Gregory will tell us about weather and what we can expect for Halloween weekend.
And later in sports, we'll look at some Lady Hilltopper action on the volleyball court.
Halloween is almost upon us, and what better way to get into the spirit than to end with some ghost stories.
Photojournalist Dan Blommel has been having a phantasmic time exploring some haunted houses. Tonight we'll take a tour around Park City's famous Men's Hotel.
At the famous Mintz Hotel in Park City, Kentucky. This is where they supposedly had a axe murder happen. We're not for sure because it's not really got any details and there's no documentation over it.
Did you just whisper something?
Nope. I said crack.
Okay, that's what I heard.
Pardon me.
Stop whispering.
Yeah. Well,
that is a cardinal sin in paranormal investigating.
He's a real bear. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing living in here. Sometimes you never know what's going to happen. You know, they might actually make themselves known. This is a spirit box. It's a modified radio. It goes through frequencies and use a portable speaker to amplify actual responses. Is there anybody here with me right now? If I turned out the light, would you talk to me then? I'd like somebody to tell me what my name is. Can you say my name? That was interesting.
Who whispered?
I didn't whisper.
Okay. And you're going to hear a man's voice.
Oh. It's almost like she says Reese. This place is just overactive with paranormal activity.
Now Arden Gregory joins us with a final look at our forecast. And speaking of Halloween, are trick-or-treaters going to need to bundle up?
That's probably a good idea. If you can, find a way to work a jacket into that costume, because we will have a secondary cold front moving through the area Thursday night into Friday, which is going to bring us a very slight chance for a few more showers. However, those will move out by the time trick-or-treaters are going to be going out Friday night, but it will be rather chilly at that point. Our high on Friday is only going to be 58 with lows in the 30s, so definitely bundle up if you're trick-or-treating.
That's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for making News Channel 12 your source for news.
And don't forget to set your clocks back this weekend and to set your clock to watch our election show next week. Have a good night.